Let's talk about today material master. Okay, so material master control functions are industry sector and material type, which means this material master is controlled by industry sector and material type. If we see it in our screen, okay, if you go to material creation transaction code MM01, if you see, initial screen is actually stopping us with these three fields. One is for material number and another is for industry sector and material type. So now let's understand industry sector. In industry sector also, this will define which industry, okay, this particular material belongs to. For example, the industry of the company may be food industry or oil industry or retail industry or pharmaceutical. So depending on the industry, SAP has given some views, departments, some within the department, some fields. I'll show you. Now, for example, I selected, let's take this. We don't know, just let's see what views we have. We saw all of them segment value, okay, and let's select other view mm01. It does, and it also has all. I'm only trying to show you where the views of this material master might or maybe, if you want, according to your business, the SAP in real time, ERP system has the views that you can control at. Views is nothing but departments, right? So if I see, these are all my views. These departments you can control at industry sector, and when you have the views of those, and you can also control the fields inside these departments, right? Once you create any material using one industry sector, and you cannot change the industry sector of that material later on, right? And SAP also has given almost all the industry sector which are relevant. So we find very rarely where the requirement where we need to create industry sector. Okay, that is with this industry sector. Now if we talk about material type, this material type plays a major role in material master. Okay, material type again has some control functions. So material type control functions starts with number, range. So the word itself is it's defining that it has a range of numbers, and that range of number you can assign to your material type, so that whenever you're creating this material type using this material type, whenever you're creating a material using this material type, the definite you defined number range. For example, let's say this is from this number to this number. So whenever you're creating a material with this material type, and when you save the material, so you get one number out of this range. So for a material, whenever you're creating, this number range is controlled at material type level. Okay, clear, right? One more control function at material type is you can also select views and fields. Like you have option for industry sector. According to the material type also, you can control which departments and which fields, right? For example, when I say fields, so each field in that particular department view can be display, optional, required, or hide. So these are the things you can settings you can configure each and every field in the material within those department views. I will show you in the system. So let's I'm taking as this, I'm enter, just giving my organization details. So this is a basic data view, and these are the fields. If you see this tick mark, which means those are required fields. If you don't fill these fields and you are trying to save this material, it will not allow you to save. These fields are required to fill. So you can control these fields so that whenever this page is mostly used by users, right? Business users or end users most of the time, who is creating the material. So we will guide him with all these required fields, optional fields, or display fields. So we will set this whole page ready according to our business scenarios, requirements, and we will give this page to user to maintain the data accordingly. For example, base unit of measure is very much important, and we don't want whoever is creating any material in our company code should miss this field. So that's the reason you have made this field as mandatory. If tomorrow you came to know that this division is mandatory, so you can make this particular field mandatory. And gross weight, if they make this field as mandatory, and you can do that. How do we do this? Okay, let's see it in the system. You go to SPRO screen. I'm opening in the new screen /o SPRO. Okay, go to your logistics general, go to your material master, go to field selection. Here you can maintain your field selection for data screens. Okay, click here, and here I can see what field reference. Okay, and the field selection group, and this group has these fields, right? So come back, and now click on this assign fields to field selection group. These are all the fields. Okay, now let's say I want to this division or gross weight, let's say gross weight, I want to make it as mandatory. So for that, system here, it is gross weight. You can search like this, right? Otherwise, if you know the field name, that is field code, if you know this, it is easy to find out. Understand this page. So here you see 4 buttons, the same names of the buttons. So these buttons you use to sort. Okay, sort. For example, if I sort this, so they're getting sort. Okay, and these fields are used to find out. So now let's go and find our gross weight technical field name. Click on this technical information, and this is the table name within the table, and this is the field. So this field in SAP code, it is all about gross weight, right? So let's copy this combination of table and field. Okay, and go here, click on this field name, paste. So this is your gross weight, right? If you, this is the gross weight, and this is belong to this selection group. If you click on this, and you will see in the selection group you have 3 fields. So our requirement is whenever I'm using MM01 transaction, I want this gross weight to be a required option, or display, or hide. That is what we discussed. Display, optional, required, or hide, right? So now I want this gross weight to be required, and if I save it, what will happen? This field selection now is in optional entry. Now I am changing this to required entry, but the selection group has other 2 more fields. Those 2 also will become required entry, but that is not our business scenario. Our business scenario is I want only gross weight to be required entry, right? For that we just have to create a new selection group, right? So page back, you see here 243 is the selection group. Now you give one number here which will be available, which should be available here, which was not used. So let's say for example I will give 213. I don't know whether it is there or not, just check. If you give number here, if it is not available within these numbers used, and it will create automatically this number, and it will assign this field also to this selection group. Let me see. So it is giving me do not make any changes to SAP entry. That's okay. Enter. See now 213 is available in the system. So it allowed me to create a selection group with 213, and it assigned this gross weight to this field. Now I go to my position and my transaction, and using my MM01, whenever I'm using my MM01, so I want this field to be required entry. Okay, save it. Okay, come back, save. Okay, now you test it. /n MM01. Enter, enter your organizations. You see now gross weight has now required entry field, right? So like that you can play with these options of the fields. Okay, and how do you see? There is another control function for views also, right? So how do we do this? For that, you go to your SPRO screen. Okay, you go to this configuring material master, and here you will go to define structure of data screens for each screen sequence. Okay, now in this we use 21. Okay, this is our screen sequence. If you double click on this and select this, so these are all the screen sequence. Within the screen sequence, these are all available. Okay, now we want to maintain order of main and additional screens, which means what I'm trying to do now, go to /n mm01. When I entering, if you see, this purchasing came at second, but I want the purchase to be under, so, or maybe above the purchase order text. How do I do it? And like that, if you want any of these tabs to move, above and below, down, or you can use this area, and you find your 21 is a screen sequence inside. So if I see now, purchasing has 20, right? Where is my purchase order text? Is here. Basic data has 100. So what I will do, I will change this basic data should come under basic data 1, and my purchasing should go above the purchase order text. Okay, for that I will just change this to 20, and I will just change this to 100. And once I'm done, I can use this button to sort it out. The sort has happened. I see my purchasing above. Okay, that's fine. I can just change the name, so it's still fine. So it has come to, it has come below basic data too. Okay, save it. Now you test your screen. /n mm01. You see now your basic data 2 has come and your purchasing came here, right, as expected. Now there are, these are the two functions. Let's discuss about number range also, where we control this number range. Come here. So go to material master, basic settings. Here you have your material types. Expand it, and you see here, after this is your area where you create your material types, right? And after creating your material type, you assign number ranges to your material type. Define number ranges for material types. Click here and understand this page. Here you will see overview of, so what are your material types, what is the number ranges, and what is the status of the number range, or is it external or internal. This is status, this is external, internal, this is to number. Okay, so overview you will see in this button. Okay, coming to this, you will see your material type and assigned with which, this you see the slight pinkish will indicate 01 is your number range, like this. So for example, you have this number range and you can give one number to this, like XX. So it is going to be this. Okay, and it has this number range, so which means all these material types are having the numbers of this element. Okay, okay, now if you see what is our current number range assigned for this material. Okay, if you click here, since it is internal number assignment, system is allowing you to start creating, meaning it allowed you to the next step to have the views, and further you give organizations, and further you start creating a material. What if it is external material type? For example, if I see, I don't know, maybe someone maybe some material type might have external. Let me check to show you. I'm just using training system, so okay. So if at all you have external number range means, system will not allow you give me the number here manually, which is between this number range. If it is, this is your number range, so give me the number range between this range, so that I will accept the number range here. Until you give the number here, system will not allow you to this step. Okay, now ZZ and enter. Now if you see your company code, your plant, and your storage location after giving it, so if you see there is a 388 is the material number system generated for us, 388. So what is our material type? So material type will have this number range, right? So let's find out material type. How do I find material type, right? So if you click here this symbol, you can see your material type. Right, weight is grams. Okay, and you can click here and you will see your material type. That is ZGFP is my material type. Okay, and this has number range assigned with 388 is one of the number. So let's find out. ZGFP, Control F, ZGFP. This is my material type. And if I see this, 31 is the range element, range number. So let's find out 31 number range. So these are the two icons where we use and find out our material type and their respective number ranges assignment. This is for display, this is for change. But these three buttons will help. This is to see just the number ranges. This is display mode, this is to change, create mode. Okay, now we understood just now that 388 is the material is coming from, so should have this number range 31 and 141, and 388 is, you see, 388 is going to create. So which means, so 31 is the number range number. Okay, and this is from number, it started from 141 and it is 2 number, it is going to end at 500. And what is the current status of this number range? It is 388. This field will help us how many numbers are still available. For example, if you minus the big number minus this number, you will see how many numbers are still left from this number range, right? So now if I want to create, I want to assign this number, okay, 06. How do I assign? When I assign this number 06, so my material number should be between this number and this number. Okay, so now 06 I'm going to assign. So for that, go to change mode and find your material type, and 06 you have to assign. So right click on your material type, assign element to group 06, select and save it. So it got saved. Okay, come back. Now if we create a material, now our number of the material should change, mm01. Enter, enter, enter. See, now it is 10126. So now we covered number ranges, views and fields of the material master, and which will be controlled by material type. Right, now value and quantity update. So if you go to your material type, define attributes of material type. See, material types can be a raw material and a finished product or semi-finished product. Okay, and let's say, for example, yeah, let's discuss that. Material type can be finished product, you know, right? So it is a finished product which your company produced it. Okay, so using raw materials, so which means one more material type can be a raw material, and then using this raw material, so you only one department will create semi-finished product. So that is also one of the material type you can create for your tracking purpose, or semi-finished product also you can transfer within your plants or within your company codes. For example, one plant will finish one product to some customization level, and from there these semi-finished products are moved to the another plant where they make fully final product. Okay, right? And you have, if you see, there are some standard no, halb is semi-finished product. Okay, hawa is for trading goods, meaning you purchase the material goods products from one vendor, it is fully finished and you don't do anything to that product. As it is, you sell it to someone else, retailing, right? So that is called hawa, trading goods. And there is one more, like, you know, NLAG. So this is non-stock material. Non-stock material. You don't actually, you know, whenever you receive this material, you will not update the quantity. You don't stock it. You will not update the quantity, but you will update the value, right? For example, you are buying office use, operations use, many daily operations used. There are many procurements will happen. For example, take printer, papers, okay, some events, organizations, something is happening. So they all come and you use it, you consume it, you don't stock it, right? but it has a value, which means this particular material should not be tracked, but it has a value. Value should be tracked. Finished product, it has a quantity to track whenever finished product is there. So there is a quantity available physically. You need to track the stock, and it has the value also, which means for semi-finished product, you have to track the quantity and value. Raw materials, same. Semi-finished products also same. But there is another material where it is UNBW, okay, non-valuated stock. So in this stage, even you don't stock it. At the same time, you don't also track the value of it, but you will post this into your expenditure account. So like this, you have different types of materials. According to these types of materials, these views will play a major role. Within the views, the fields also will play a major role, right? For example, number range, if you want to use one series, if you see anywhere in the company, if you see one series number range, it is easy for you to understand it is a finished product in the system, in the invoice, in the delivery documents, wherever. If you see any material with two series, which means this material is a raw material. In the system, in the reporting, everywhere, if you see, the moment you see the two series, it is a raw material. Like that, you can have even number ranges also uniquely identifies the type of the material. Okay. Now, if we go to this value and quantity update control function of material type, so let's go and see it in the system. You see the finished product, which is FERT, F-E-R-T, FERT, it should have both ticked, right? And if you see HALB also, both should be ticked. If you see HAVA also, both should be ticked. Okay. So now that's how whenever you're creating a material, and based on these settings, system start tracking the quantity of it and value of it. If there is no need of stock to be tracked, some of the views departments are no need to maintain. If there is no need to track the value, there are certain also departments no need to maintain. And there is one more, this one, purchase information. Okay, that you will see it in the same in material type. Go here, you take your material that I created, ZG, and global finished product. The material can be purchased internally if someone is using this material type and creating a material, and you can control that material can be internally procured or externally procured, right? You can maintain here. And there is one more control function, which is price control. Okay, go here, this one. So this field is useful. So whenever you are creating this material, creating a material using this material type, there should be a cost involved for every product, for every material, right? What is the cost of the material that we need to maintain, right? For that, SAP has given two scenarios: one, standard price, and moving average price. So if we talk about this, standard price and moving average price. The standard price is something whenever you are creating a material using this material type. Let's say you will give some 2300 is the cost you will maintain. So which means whenever, okay, anyone is using so that particular material, and it is going to be the standard, and 2300 is the cost. You receive goods receipt, so this is going to posted. You do the invoice verification, this is going to be the posted. I mean, system will take this price as a base price to value it. For example, you receive a goods receipt of 100 quantities. So system will consider 100 into 100. So each 100 rupees of worth the value you have. So that will, for example, now you 100 goods receipt you have done. So it will update even the books with this number. So value of this is with you. Okay. So the value to track, it will depend on this price control function. Okay. SAP also has given you another concept, moving average price. For example, now you said this is 2300, and this one, for example, raw material, you're buying it from vendor, and today he agreed with you with your contract and purchasing negotiations 2300. After 1 year, this may go up to 2500, right? After 1 year, when you receive the goods from him, for example, again 100 quantities, and your system should still consider this 2300 only, because in your data this material cost is 2300, but today you, after 1 year, it has become 2500, right? But overall, for example, you have some quantity of this, let's say 5000 quantities already with you, and this year purchasing started. This is your first purchase order, let's say, and till yesterday you received all the products with 2300, and now it is going to be 2500. So if you change the system to 2500, again the value is changing, right? Now you should have two books to maintain. That too, because you cannot fix the vendor price if it is a raw material, right? Today he sells you at 2300, but tomorrow it may go up to 5000. So that's the reason, to clear this confusion, SAP has come up with moving average price. So what if you opt for moving average price? What system will do? So now it checks this much of, this is the unit cost and this much of quantity, and this is the, okay, and just do this, and now it will average this. For example, plus and plus, so divided by 2, so 2400. So it's a moving average price, right? It's not 2300, it's not 2500. The value of this product, because of recent purchases, purchasing history, so it will average it, and it will give you the price of the material, so that you can value at that price in your books. Okay, and there is one more function is very important here, that is account category reference. Okay, account category reference. So this one plays a major role to find the right GL accounts. So how does it do? For example, at your material type, you have this account category reference. Okay, this account category reference is 009 right? And this account category reference will have valuation classes. Okay, now let's go to your MM01 screen. Okay, just fill this. I'm talking about accounting one view. Okay, let's go to accounting one view. Enter all the mandatory fields till you go there. Okay, here. Now we are in this understanding of valuation class. So you don't see account category reference in material, but this account category reference will have valuation classes. Those valuation classes are assigned with material, right? So now if you click here, you will see, so these are the valuation classes are available, and using this valuation class, okay, I'll show you OBYC. So if you are receiving goods, this is BSX is a transaction key, and you give your, okay, if you see here, you will see this valuation modifier, and you see this valuation class. So this valuation class has this GL account. So using this valuation class from this material, if you do any goods received, okay, goods received means you are receiving goods, right? You are receiving goods. You also issue the goods when you do goods issue, meaning you are selling it. Here you are purchasing it. Like that, you have so many movements in your organization. Depending on the movement, respect to, so valuation class, and it will give the respect to GL account. Okay, clear, right? For example, you can also think about price control mandatory, right? So if you tick this, system will not allow you to save the material without entering the standard price here. If it is standard, okay, it will pick here as a standard price control. If it is moving average price, you should maintain the moving average price here. If not, system will not allow you to save this particular material. So once this is done, so you can create your own material. Okay.